closely to how the beautiful, rhythmic patterns of the cold rain begin to claim the surrounding air. The steady drops are falling outside to wash away the invisible, toxic debris that accumulated on your shoulders today. Your active mind is gently slowing down its exhausting, frantic search for logical answers and immediate solutions. The necessity to understand why your chest feels so heavy is slowly fading into the deep, dark spaces of this room. You are safely anchored here in the dark, floating on the soft surface of a supportive, completely non-judgmental reality. The physical space between your individual thoughts is beginning to expand into a beautiful, quiet emptiness. The sharp, localized pressure behind your ribs is no longer an emergency that requires your active mental intervention. It is simply a temporary, dissolving sensation that we are going to patiently dismantle piece by piece together. With every passing moment, the external world is moving further away, shrinking into a tiny, meaningless point of light. Your entire consciousness is gracefully withdrawing from the surface of life, settling deep within your own body. Feel the gentle, heavy weight of your tired limbs as they completely surrender to the layout of the mattress. The muscles around your shoulders are starting to realize that the long, draining day is officially over and done with. The tight, restricted space inside your throat is opening up just a fraction, allowing a softer stream of air to pass. You are becoming intensely aware of the quiet, continuous pulse of life beating beneath the heavy layers of distress. The protective walls of the immediate night are firmly locking into place, sealing you away from all earthly chaos. I am here with you in this profound stillness, holding a safe space where you are allowed to be completely weak rigid tension holding your collarbones is quietly releasing its frantic protective grip on your throat. You are safe to let your breath flow horizontally, letting it expand naturally into the deep sides of your bed. Every cold drop of rain hitting the window glass is a gentle reminder that the world outside is with every light, unforced movement of your chest. Feel a solid foundation of pure stillness rising around you. We are constructing an inviolable, sacred space where your wounded heart can finally expand without fear. Imagine the magnificent high walls of your private nighttime refuge materializing silently in the darkness. These boundaries are specifically designed to shield your physical being from any external weight or pressure. These protective stone structures are completely impenetrable to the crushing demands of your social life. The endless digital notifications, the toxic urgency of deadlines, and the heavy expectations of others cannot enter. They are completely deflected by the dense, warm aura of total emotional safety that is filling this room tonight. You are retroactively locking the heavy iron gates to your private world, ensuring your energy is perfectly safe. This clean perimeter belongs exclusively to your soul, a sovereign empire of peace where you rule over the silence. Feel the immense, comforting stability of this architecture as it settles permanently into the deep floor. The vast ceiling above your bed is woven from the dark, cooling fibers of the midnight sky to absorb your stress. There are no ticking clocks here, no obligations to fulfill, and absolutely no pressure to pretend you are strong. You can finally discard the suffocating, tight identity you were forced to maintain during the busy daylight hours. Inside this magnificent fortress, you are completely anonymous, beautifully hidden away, and entirely safe from judgment. I know how deeply your chest has craved this absolute, unbothered isolation after a long day of carrying burdens. I know the exact exhaustion of holding your breath when the chaotic world around you refuses to slow down its pace. That is why this beautiful haven is built with such precise care, a custom-made sanctuary for your crowded mind. Every dark corner of this room is currently filled with a thick, soothing energy that gently repels old anxieties. The walls are expanding outward, giving your restricted lungs the vast, open clearance they have been infusing the quiet air with a profound sense of unshakable security that coaxes your ribs to loosen further. Your physical body is sinking deeper into the soft mattress, completely trusting the safety of these heavy walls. The frantic, desperate urgency that dictated your movements for the last 12 hours is dissolving into nothingness. You are fully wrapped in an invisible cloak of absolute protection, a shield that no daily crisis can ever pierce. Look how distant and harmless the pressure in your chest feels now that you look at it from behind these walls. The old anxiety is nothing more than a faint, blurry shadow playing on the very edge of your distant horizon. The fortress is completely finished, a monumental sanctuary of open air designed to preserve your precious spirit. Your calm, rhythmic breathing has synchronized perfectly with the slow, majestic pace of this secure, quiet space. The cool air you inhale is pure, clean, and entirely free from the toxic debris of doubt and hypervigilance. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer exposed to the harsh, calculating gazes of the crowd. The protective night has claimed your heart as its own, pulling you deep into the safest chambers of this palace. Your inner awareness is drifting away from the structure itself, moving steadily toward the core of your being. The walls will stand firm and watch over you, holding the chaos at bay while you enjoy the spacious silence. We are moving deeper into the center of the fortress, where the ultimate protection shield is waiting to activate. The physical walls of our sanctuary are holding firm, and now it is time to activate the final shield. Slowly witness a translucent, warm dome of pure energy expanding from the deepest center of your quiet chest. It gently rises and curves over your entire bed, creating a flawless, airtight capsule of absolute night protection. As this energetic shield locks into place, my soft voice will begin to recede into the warm background of the room. You are safe to let go of your remaining hypervigilance, because this shield will filter the cold night for you. I know exactly how every inch of this dark capsule feels, because I activate it for myself every single night. I know the precise texture of the suffocating pressure that wraps around your ribs when the daylight refuses to leave. I lie awake in this exact same heavy silence, watching the dark rain and testing the boundaries of this protective field. It is an incredible comfort to know that we are both completely unreachable to the crushing demands of society right now. This protective layer intercepts any stray residual fragments of toxic anxiety before they can touch your healing heart. Every bitter word from your past and every heavy expectation for the coming future just bounces off this dome. The shield transforms them into harmless, tiny sparks that instantly dissolve into the wet window pane outside. You can feel your active ego beginning to soften and split into beautiful, quiet rivers of pure sensory relaxation. The heavy necessity to monitor your surroundings or protect yourself from emotional harm has been entirely outsourced. The shield is alive, breathing with the slow cadence of the rain, standing guard over your sovereign, resting spirit. Let your consciousness drift like a weightless leaf toward the outer edges of this warm, dark capsule. You can hear the steady rain and the deep ambient pads vibrating softly against the surface of the glowing shield. But you are perfectly warm, completely dry, and entirely insulated in the heavy velvet heart of your private fortress. The analytical part of your brain has officially closed its eyes, completely trusting the absolute authority of this shield. There is no longer a need to maintain your name, your social status, or your complicated human history tonight. You are slipping away from the waking world, turning into a beautifully anonymous observer of the silence. The shield filters out the global anxiety, the collective panic, and the endless friction of human existence. It leaves your body with nothing but the raw, comforting rhythm of your own slow, steady, and peaceful breathing. Every deeply rooted tension in your chest is being pulled out by the heavy, magnetic gravity of this dark bed. You are sinking into a profound state of total surrender, where your personal boundaries are melting away. I am watching over this space with you, sharing the magnificent quietness of this completed fortress. We have successfully managed to build a world within a world, a hidden pocket of time where stress cannot live. The night protection shield is glowing with a faint, sleepy warmth that wraps around your heavy, tired eyelids. Your thoughts have completely stopped their frantic spinning, replaced by a deep, dark pool of pure serenity. The rigid control you held so tightly onto for the past 12 hours is slipping through your relaxed fingers. Let the soothing ambient music take full control of your remaining drifting fragments of awareness. The barrier between your chest and the external chaos has become infinitely thick, heavy, and absolute tonight. You are completely wrapped in the protective garment of the midnight hour, hidden where no one can disturb you. The quiet machinery of hypervigilance has ground to a total, permanent halt under the weight of this peace. Your spirit is resting in the sweet, dark vacuum that exists between your chest and the rhythm of the falling rain. Prepare your soul to cross the final threshold, leaving even the memory of this painful day behind you. The shield will remain is growing distant now, fading into the rich, continuous texture of the wet, protective night. The deep gates of your truest self are waiting right ahead, shining in the middle of the soft stillness. The night protection shield has completely isolated your existence from the waking world. The heavy fortress around your heart is dead silent, and my voice is now just a faint, fading shadow. You have successfully stepped completely outside of your name, your job, and your daily burdens. Every single social mask you were forced to wear during the light hours has entirely melted away. There is no longer any need to perform, to remember your history, or to stay awake anymore. Look into the deep, dark pool of pure stillness that has opened up within your quiet chest. This open space is your baseline state, the magnificent, untouched canvas of your truest and original self. You were always this pure, untroubled silence before the chaotic world built its noisy storm around you. The endless, suffocating chest pressure was just a heavy, tight garment that you have finally dropped. You are returning home to the velvet vacuum where no anxiety or human judgment can ever exist. Feel how beautifully light and empty your consciousness has become under the protection of the night. The constant, painful friction of trying to understand and control everything is completely gone. Your tired physical body is no longer a tool for work. It is now just pure, resting, hollow energy. You are gently sinking through the soft layers of the mattress, falling into a limitless, dark ocean. The boundaries of your skin are softening, blending perfectly with the warm, deep room around you. Every slow, automatic breath you take is drawing you deeper into the sweet velvet abyss. You are perfectly safe to stop monitoring your thoughts, safe to stop fighting, and safe to sleep. The world is operating completely without you now, and it does not require your attention anymore. Let the soothing, repetitive cadence of my final whispers gently pull down your heavy eyelids. You are slipping away from the waking consciousness, turning into the dark, quiet night itself. The analytical mind has completely surrendered its keys to the majestic, protective silence. There are no more sentences left to speak, no more problems to solve, and no more things to remember. Only the deep, dark, and endless peace remains, wrapping your lungs in a heavy blanket of rest. Your breathing is a slow, rhythmic, and natural song that synchronizes with the falling rain. You are beautifully dissolving into the velvet background, fading into a permanent state of comfort. Let go of the very last anchor that connects your awareness to this heavy, passing day. The past 12 hours have been entirely erased, leaving your spirit clean, pure, and absolute warmth that promises